This is the podcast, and this is called "This Is How We Got Here." And the premise of the show is basically we talk about something, and we might not know how we get there, but since you're watching, you
Yep,
know that's
you
how we
know,
got here.
that's how we got here.
And yeah, yeah. And I'm Sarjan. This is Govind, and we are your hosts for today. We are just two dudes sitting in our rooms, talking on our chairs,
During
and
quarantine.
during quarantine because context matters. So basically, the topic for today is called Bloodline Magic, and
Yep.
the process of our topics is very very. Uh, he's going dark.
Yeah,
The
bloodline
process of
magic.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
gotta be
voodoo
creepy.
and shit.
Yeah.
But basically, the process of how we come up with the topics is like I randomly pick out words from my brain
Yep.
because that's how we think, and yeah, and we just try to like milk it out for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on how much we can talk about it. But today we have an interesting topic because bloodline magic is something that I have thought about quite a lot. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to pause the conversation with you, the audience, and I'm going to pretend you don't exist. Govind may or may not pretend with me, but I'm going to pretend, and I'm going to start talking to Govind. In three, two, one, and hey, dude.
Hey, man, what's up?
It was weird, but um,
So
so
yeah,
okay, actually, I do want to talk about this with you because um, when you say the words bloodline magic, what do you think of?
I don't know, voodoo shit, witchcraft.
Okay, yeah, see, that's kind of what I feared. So, okay, what I mean by bloodline magic is basically at some point, back in the day, or at least like in human society, when you talk about history,
Yeah, yeah,
um, there are certain people, there are certain myths where there are like people who have powers, like
yeah,
magical powers, or like like fire and telekinesis and invisibility and all
yeah,
of
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it may or may not be true, right? It
yeah,
can be
yeah,
just story. But let's take that possibility of, hey, maybe they're true. How would that actually work, right? And
yeah.
so, like, imagine back in the
What did you
pause.
do?
I need to check the thing.
I'm sorry, everybody. He had to take a short interval, probably to pee. I don't know. It looks like it's only me and you for now. And what have I done for today? I haven't done much. Like, you know,
Much later.
I probably just had dinner or something. I don't know. Maybe something like that. I know. Why do you care so much about me? Fuck you. I mean,
Are you just talking to yourself?
no. I was talking. I was addressing the crowd. I was
Okay,
addressing
I'm
the
not.
crowd. Yeah. I'm,
Okay,
just so you know,
I'm
this
not sure.
goes. This goes. Okay. This part where you left the audience. This goes
On
in the
our first show,
video.
on our first ever
Yes.
official
Yes.
trial.
This goes. I mean, they are going to see. They're going to be like, this guy's a douche. Sergeant's the douche. I'm going. I'm the good guy. I'm like,
You know what? Brownie points for you. Let's keep you as the good guy. I'm gonna be the bad guy.
okay, wow. Fuck. He's flaunting his
Anyway,
hair. He's so badly flaunting his hair. I mean,
uh, okay, but okay. Speaking of like, yeah, okay. Back in the day, I do remember what I was talking about for once. So back in the day, we have like people who have powers, and obviously they are particular. They're not special. Like not everybody is special, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
only certain people have those powers, and this can be as simple as let's take Zeus. Let's take Hercules, right? The demigod.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's say back in the day, the gods, frolicked around with the human beings, and they made the special babies with powers. Obviously,
Yeah.
Hercules' feats is that he's strong. He is very very strong. He did those tasks. He could, like when you talk about something super strong, you call it a Herculean feat. The
Yeah.
word comes from that, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
basically, at this point, like when you talk about that, imagine Hercules having babies again. So if Zeus was strong, like a super strong, full-blooded being, full-blooded god, he
Yeah.
meets with a human woman, and technically does not so consensual things because Zeus. But the byproduct is basically a demigod, Hercules, who's strong, but then again not as strong as Zeus,
Yeah.
right? So at some point, the bloodline is becoming weaker.
Yep.
Right now, imagine that bloodline keeps like going down generation over generation. What I'm trying to say is like if somebody was special back in the day, right now they would not be that strong. Like um, okay, let's take telekinesis or like invisibility, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Imagine back in the day, like there was this particular clan who was super strong with telekinesis. Everybody in the bloodline, like the first descendant,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all of that, right? They had telekinetic powers, and they could move like buildings and castles and like hundreds of horses for like 500 hours. Okay, nobody's going to be staying awake for
Yes.
500.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, but like relatively they were much more powerful, right? Let's say they could like lift an entire castle for 5 hours and not be tired, right? And but then
I mean,
imagine generation after
wait. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what would they be thinking? Like, look at this castle. Wait, I'm gonna hold it for 5 hours. And he's gonna just stand there like that, and like,
I was just standing there, it's like, yeah, can I chill up there, folks?
I mean, people in the castle are be like, like, okay, let's just drop the ladder. We'll just get down from the ladder and we'll kill the guy. I mean, it doesn't take them 5 hours to realize that.
Maybe they're sleeping,
I mean,
maybe they're just like sleeping and there's like, but then again, there are light sleepers.
If the telekinetic guy was invisible, that would solve the issue.
Okay, we're adding on powers now. Let's morph the powers. Like, okay, an invisible telekinetic. Speaking of invisibility, now that you mention it, if invisibility does not have another power, it's kind of stupid. Like,
yeah, I mean, just having invisibility, I mean, unless you're a creep, right? You're gonna get everything you wanted in your life.
see, okay, I mean, okay, yeah, invisibility is pretty creepy. But there are like a lot of limitations to that, right? There's a lot of like nuances. Like, for example, is the invisibility only happening when you're naked, or does it apply to your clothes? Does it apply to every clothes, every cloth you wear? But the question comes, but the question is, if that's the case, how does it work? Does it work only for clothes, or can you actually make other objects invisible?
Okay, shit. What was that character in X-Men who could morph to anybody? Along, like, she'd always be actually nude, but then she could get the clothes also to match with her skin. What's her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, that's the actress. I'm asking her character.
Raven?
Raven?
Okay.
Her name's Raven?
Mystique, yeah.
Mystique?
Yeah. Mystique.
Okay.
Yeah. Mystique is her X-Men name. Raven is the X-Men first class movie's name.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, she's a mutant who can morph her body into... She's basically a blue person with scales and all that. But basically her mutant power is to change or morph into anybody.
So what I'm saying is like a person who goes invisible, right? If he actually has a deformed body and if he has this added power with him, like the power what Raven has, he could actually do a lot of shit. He could actually make a lot of havoc.
Like imagine you can control like tiny parts of your body to be invisible at a particular time. Like it's not just full invisible. Like you can like imagine you're hiding from somebody and you're like in direct contact, right? You just make your head invisible. You would like creep or like scare the other person so much. Like imagine just walking around without a head.
That would be a really cool Halloween costume. I mean, if the person ever decided to get into the Halloween business, he could make a shit ton of money.
Do you really make money from Halloween costumes? So,
okay, you don't. I mean, no, for being the cool guy in the town, for a day.
That's, I mean, okay. I mean,
but people are going to be like, that's just special effects, right? I mean,
you know what? No,
actually speaking of Halloween Day, if a murder were to take place on Halloween Day, not a lot of people are going to realize a murder actually took place because they're going to be like, people are faking it. Like, I could just walk in with blood on my shirt and say, I'm playing a guy.
Yeah, it's my costume. Yeah,
it's my costume.
Another thing, right? By invisibility would not be a great idea, even for a Halloween, because one, the moment you're going as an invisible person,
I actually think it would be better if they could take the concept of invisibility to a different way, like not compare it to the human eye and take it to the way you know people. If like somebody were to be invisible around you a different way, like say if I would impersonate somebody, like in a way I am invisible to you, right?
How do you mean, like a background character?
Background character. Wait.
Like what exactly do you mean?
Wait. Let me get this right.
Okay, while you in that time, what I was trying to say was basically like, when you're walking around in a Halloween costume, okay, your head is invisible, right? Let's just say you're going for the props. Why that wouldn't work? The moment, okay, to be honest, if I see somebody who's going on an invisible costume with no head, my first obvious reaction to it is like to put my hand where the head is and just like check around if the so see, the thing is, you're just invisible. So I'm going to be poking the person in the eye or the face, which is still like.
I mean, come on. I think he would see it coming. I mean, he actually has an eye, so I think he would really see it coming. You'd probably dodge. That would freak you out even more.
Yes. Like, what am I going to touch? Why are you afraid if there's nothing? Like, is that actually, which again would reveal who the person is and that they have the powers of invisibility.
Yep.
Invisibility is also like silly because in a large scale event, in a war, right? As long as you have night vision goggles, you kind of like your heat signature is still there. And again, like you throw paint or you throw some other substance. How much reaction time do you have for that invisibility to strike? Like, is it like, what is the distance from your body? Can you actually control the space around you to be invisible? And for example. And how much area can you cover? Like, for example, if I'm going, let's say this door, right? If I'm going and touching the door, can I make the entire door invisible? What about the width and the depth of and the volume of, like, imagine I put my hands on the door, I'm trying to make it invisible, but only like one, like, just my hand print is invisible. I wouldn't be able to see much. Or like, is it a circular thing? Because mostly when you talk about invisibility, like you make something, it's always circular, And
if you could make something invisible, that would actually be really cool. Rather than only turning yourself invisible, that'd actually be really. I mean, like bank heats could be much more easier. Like
heist, yes.
Yeah. Probably.
I'm sorry, I had
sit inside and like hold the money for a week or something. And then once all the shit is clear, or once all the shit has been done with, probably leave. Okay. And
true, but
wait,
it does not really have.
Just stopped for a second.
It is breaking up, right?
Yep, it is. It's glitching a lot. Thank God we're recording it through the normal.
No.
What was the last topic you were talking about?
You were telling me about how invisibility kind of gold or like the invisible, and that's where it kind of got cut off.
Okay. So like basically like you could come out of like 3-4 weeks. I mean not 3-4 weeks.
You
probably
finish that thought maybe.
Finish what?
The thought. I didn't hear you. Like it's getting a bit.
Now can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, it's better now. Go ahead.
So what were we talking about again?
You were talking about how at some point when you like when you make something invisible in a bank.
Yeah. How easily you can get away with it. I mean, like seriously, you can just turn something invisible and like walk away. I mean, like, oh wait. What'd be amazing is if you could turn something invisible for a while, okay? Or like anything. It doesn't matter of how far away it is, but you can turn it invisible for like few weeks.
Are you in control of that?
Say for example, like the bank gets robbed, okay, but nobody knows what happened to the cash. They all it's like it's like very rare for it to happen like this, but like if nobody goes and touches the compartment to see if the money is really gone.
Okay, see, nobody's gonna like not walk around, right? Like like if something's missing, I would walk around it. I would like try, put my hand on it and like stand, like.
So wait, maybe that could be like a huge misdirection. Actually, you could actually create misdirection with that.
I mean, yes, true. Yes. You could definitely like like basically put like, okay, because it's missing, because it's invisible, it does
Yeah,
not
yeah,
exist
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Which is quite hard to pull off because the first thing, again, my impulse, again, if I see somebody walking without a head, my impulse is like, give me your face. Like, what is this? What is, like, is this something I can't
How
see?
does this work? Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. Another thing about invisibility is like you said, the duration of the invisibility, right?
Yeah.
If I take this bottle and if I make it invisible, how, and if I leave the bottle, does it go back to being a bottle?
It depends. If you have like, see, like how telekinesis work with your mind, you can control an levitator. Maybe you could do the same with invisibility. Like, look at the object and actually make it
You
disappear.
look at the object and make it invisible. Huh.
Yeah, that would be cool. Oh,
I feel like I
what
think
if,
we're
what if I actually
kind of coming
had
up with our own.
what if you had the ability to make the cops disappear? Won't they have a momentarily freak out? Like, won't they freak out? Like, whoa, I can't see myself. Like that wouldn't that be enough
It
of a
could cause
distraction?
confusion. Yes, it could cause. This reminds me of this art of war, right? I don't know what exactly it's from, but basically, even a tiny misdirection with light, a reflection of light on a oncoming warrior's eyes
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
moment can
Yeah, yeah.
cost them their life.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, in terms of a misdirection, like the moment, like like I'm invisible right now. I can't
Yeah,
see my hands. Where is my hand? I point out a gun. I can feel it, but I can't see it. It would
yeah.
definitely cause like a huge moment. But then here's the thing: how long will the confusion last? And if you can do that trick maybe like once or twice, but after a point, I'm just like, yeah, you're gonna make me invisible. I get it. Like, like that's your power. I get it. You're cool, but that's about it. Uh, yeah. But we were talking about Bloodline magic, by the way.
Oh my God, we got so obsessed with invisibility. Like, what the hell?
Okay, let's consider all of these powers about invisibility
Yeah.
to be the OP, right? To be the ultimate. Like, imagine all of these are buffed up versions of invisibility that a person might have.
Wait.
They
I
can
have a question. So invisibility is also the power ghosts have also, right?
technically, I don't know.
I think like
I'm
technically take any horror movie, there's like suddenly the window shuttering.
call right now. Can I take the call?
Take
No,
it.
no. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore the call. I'm just gonna ignore the
It's
call.
probably not
Fine.
recording. It's probably not recording.
It is
It is.
still
No, I think
recording.
it's. Oh,
It's still recording, and the call's done. Okay, yeah, we're back. I think we're back.
we're back. Yep.
What was it? Yeah, okay. In terms of invisibility, right?
Yeah.
Imagine the again all of these things. The person. Oh yeah, you were telling me about something. Then the call came. Sorry.
What was he talking about? How like ghosts, the power for ghosts were like basically invisibility. So like take any horror movie, like for example, Conjuring. This might probably ruin it for you in the future, guys. I'm really sorry. But anytime you're going to watch any ghost movie, this is what is going to come into your head. Like, Just-
I don't want to hear this now. Okay, I'm not a.
just imagine
Okay.
every single time you think there's actually a ghost that's actually doing it, it's actually some invisible creep who's trying to scare the kids inside.
Nice. And you had to say kids, didn't you? You like the whole pedophilic aspect needed to
Oh
come
my
in
God, yeah.
at some point. Thank you for that.
I didn't think about that. Shit. Yeah, like that guy's gonna be nude only, right? In front of the kids. It's very hard for me to tell.
Now I'm just like, no, we're not gonna go there. But I do have a question, right? Like, if you spit, it's a bodily fluid. Like, we're just gonna substitute that, right? If you spit, is that spit gonna be invisible?
I don't think so. I think the body fluids inside. I think it's like only the outer layer is like going invisible. Like if you
Because the entire body is still there.
Yeah. I think the inner body
Oh,
fluids.
speaking of which, if you cut the body of a person, they're going to be
bleeding.
So are you saying that the invisibility only works on the exterior?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I believe, at least.
that doesn't make sense because okay, let's say the exterior is invisible, right? The interior is not invisible, so you can kind of see the innards, kind of see the veins and the blood pumping. Can kind of like because it's not like it doesn't exist if the exterior is invisible. If the interior also needs to be invisible, like every molecule.
Technically, if that was supposed to happen, if everything was invisible, if I drink something, you will actually see that.
Which comes to the point of can you control whether something is invisible or not? Which is
Yeah.
very weird because now I'm thinking food kind of takes a couple of hours to digest, right? So you can kind of see.
Okay, now I feel like they're over analyzing the power. I feel like creators create this power to just like
Yeah,
don't
okay, but why
overthink it.
can't you
Just
analyze it?
enjoy.
Huh?
But we're over analyzing to the fact like next you're going to talk about shit, how invisible people shit.
All I'm saying is answers need to be given. Okay, I want to know. Like even maybe a tiny bit like disgusting. I'm kind of curious to know. Like I see. I'm not particularly like I'm okay. If you ask me, am I going to observe an invisible person doing things? I'm not. But if somebody can give me those answers after recording and analyzing or researching it,
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Okay, I would definitely read that article or research proposal or even the entire research for itself.
I really think you can find that article. I mean, I'm not joking. People do mad shit crazy stuff. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's mad shit crazy stuff. People don't get offended. Like, if you're into it, you will find it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we're not going to kink shame here. Okay. So instead of moving towards that slightly not so off topic, we can move towards something else, which is again coming back to bloodline magic.
Yep.
Okay, here's my thing.
You
Back in the day.
Yep. Back in the day.
Yeah, because I want to make a point. Okay, I want to make a point. Back in the day, like let's say the person has ultimate power. Like they have like they can control invisibility. They can make the things that they touch invisible. They can make sure that invisibility lasts for an entire year, or like depending on how much ever they want to. If they touch a particular object, that object turns invisible in a second and can remain invisible even when they remove their hand. Another thing is like if they touch an entire object, they can control the size of it. Like for example, another question. Like for example, imagine you're touching a house, right? Does the entire house become invisible at one touch, or does it take time? Like does it like enrapture and like spread slowly across and envelop it?
It depends.
So
like,
all of these things.
I feel like it depends, but yeah, like you're saying. So what was the point? You have all this power.
Sorry, I'm getting it. So let's say the original OP. Let's call him the OP guy or the girl. OP. Let's call him OP, right? Original person, overpowered person. Yeah, progressive terms. But yeah, overpowered person. At some point, basically, this person has. Okay, when I say guy, it doesn't necessarily mean male, but this person has a lot of power, right? And because of this power, through the generations, it's going to continue to diminish, right? According to the theory of bloodline. Because you can't, if you continue inbreeding, you're going to get incestuous and deformed babies. And if and the only other option to continue your bloodline is to like have kids with somebody from outside of your family.
Yep.
Yeah. So because of the mixing of blood, the bloodline is going to get thinner, right?
Yep.
And now, according to that theory, right now, somebody back in the day had like amazing telekinetic powers or invisibility. Today, since the bloodline is very weak, the person might not have that much power. Like he can, let's say the person's a guy, right? Because I automatically go for he. This is gonna like
you're sexist. I mean, fuck it, Sadhan. You're just sexist. Leave it. Just leave it. Let's just casually.
This is my introduction to the world. This is my introduction to the world.
Sadhan's just sexist. We gotta accept it, okay, guys? Sadhan's sexist. I'm not. I'm the good guy yet again. So, I mean,
okay.
Just putting it out there.
You know what? I honestly don't think evil needs to be associated with being sexist because not evil. You can be evil and not be sexist too, which is better. Evil. That did not make sense.
Wait, one second. I have a question, okay? So if you were a rapist who wasn't sexist, would that make you a better person? Or if you were a sexist and you decided not to rape, would that make you a better person? Gotcha, boy.
See,
Gotcha, boy. Gotcha.
relatively, yes.
What? What?
Yeah, relatively, yes.
How?
It's like saying which is worse, committing a murder
Yeah.
or stealing.
Yeah, stealing something is not worse. Committing a murder is worse.
There you go. But both of them at some point are crimes or seen as crimes.
Yeah, but like that's
So
his
relatively,
rating.
yes.
That's his rating system, right? Like in Grand Theft
Yeah,
Auto.
relatively. That's
Like
the relation, right?
if you have sex, if you're sexist now, you have 1 star. If you're a rapist now, you'll have 5 stars.
So again, relative. It's not like one is better than the other. It's just like compared to each other.
I'm
one
just
is
saying the better evil.
yes. Again, it's still evil. The keyword is again evil.
Yeah, you were the one that said like like you can't. Or not all evil is bad. Like அதுக்கு தான் நான் சொன்னேன் இந்த point.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
But basically, what was I gonna say?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Sergeant's going to talk about
Right,
bloodline
okay.
magic.
Yeah. Okay, so right now, today's world, today's
Yes.
magical people. Back in the day, people could live castles. Today, they can badly manage to lift earphones. And that is why bloodline magic does not make sense today, and real powers might not exist, and it's stupid concept. That's why wishing for powers, unless something miraculous happens,
I mean,
you're just kind of boring.
Technically speaking, not all powers back then like would have had like some guys could naturally move water, but then there would be those guys who would have to like sacrifice a little bit of blood so that like or do some sacrificial thing to actually get the power working.
Okay, see, we're talking about an actual blood magic, like going from bloodline to blood magic.
Technically speaking, this could have also happened. That's all I'm saying.
True.
So when you have the power, what if one guy went like, I sacrificed like this my entire generation, the next 5 generations to have this curse, but for me to be really strong.
Yeah, that guy's evil.
So imagine if that links to genetics, and with so many people having genetical heart problems, genetical cancer and all that, what if like some douchebag back long time back was like, I just want to live a very lavish life. So like, my entire generation will be like, everybody will have to go through this shit.
While I do find it problematic, I kind of understand where that person is coming from. Okay? Okay, for example, if I ask you right now, would you be willing to sacrifice generations from your life from here henceforth, some problems or the other created for them, just so you can live an amazing life right now?
I mean, technically,
what would you say?
It depends for you, like, right? Like, what is an amazing life for you? Like, not everybody's going to choose that. Some people think.
Okay, I mean, if I ask you what you desire, right? Like, everybody has. Like, okay, I know that some people might not have desires, but I'm pretty sure at some point they might have achieved them, they might have had them, or they might have come to the realization that they don't need them.
Yep.
Right? But we're not going to exclude. We're going to exclude those people. Like, screw them. Okay, let's take away the self-entitled.
I'm sorry, guys.
Self-achieved
Sorry,
people.
Sarjan's doing that again. Like he's being a douchebag again. It's like I'm the cool guy again. I'm the good guy. I respect you guys. I do not exclude you. No discrimination over here.
Hey, I'm not discriminating. Okay,
hey,
I kind of am.
Stop it, Sarjan. You're being so rude to them. It's okay, guys. Just like subscribe, karo.
I love you,
subscribe,
but what I'm trying to say is like at some point when you talk about, I don't even remember what I was talking about because you're.
Okay, shit.
What
sorry.
was it?
People, you were excluding.
Yes,
people.
Desires, and
desire,
so majority of the population at some point is given this need to have something, like to have the good life, to have the perfect life, to have a like amazing life.
Yeah.
And everybody has that whole. Again, definitely the definition of what a perfect life is depends on person to person, but also depends on what the media propagates and like what is supposed to be good. And I wholeheartedly advocate like what, if you want the perfect life, you need to make sure your life is, you need to be okay with what you have, because nothing's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But if I have a chance to make it perfect, to have everything that I actually want, would I be willing to sacrifice my generations? That is the actual question. I'm not going to answer that question, but that is the actual question, because I can superficially say yes or no right now, but like, would you actually be able to say yes or no in that moment? That's when the self-control comes.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that
That answers that question. Moving on.
moving on. But yeah, like, okay, the topic for today was, again, okay, Govind, could you just read out what I told, like what I gave out the topic as? What was the topic that I had sent you? Because, okay, while Govind looks for the topic, what I do is I basically, like I mentioned in the beginning, I kind of have these random thoughts and I immediately try to like just type it out and send it to Govind so that we can use it at some point, because anything can be useful, right? Everything can be used. And yeah, this is basically trying to make use of something, even if it's nonsensical or does not have that much of content. And yeah, the topic was exactly on cue, Govind, go.
Bloodline magic, and how right now it's kind of pointless because blood is mixed and thin. That's it.
That's how we got here.
Okay.
That's it. I don't have anything else to say.
I think we have milked this enough, man. I mean, whoa. That's how we got here. That is the episode 1. That is how we got here. Okay. I'm not making fun of Italians. I'm not doing it well either. So
I'm not gonna say anything to that. I'm gonna let you live in that misery right now. Go for it. I'm the douchebag, remember?
I mean, maybe Sergeant won this time, but I'll win next time. We should probably have a douchebag. We should probably have a douchebag score. Rating something in the bottom.
Hey, all I'm saying is my name is not. Okay.
They can't see that, Sergeant. They can't see that. And fuck you for revealing my real name.
Oh, they're gonna. Oh yeah, okay. Maybe we should edit this part out.
I'm gonna beep it. I'm gonna beep it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, but basically, what I'm trying to say is like, this is, I kind of feel like I just told you my thoughts and I have this theory and we just like went on and off about it. Yeah, I don't know if this is what a podcast should be like. Okay, I have no idea.
Hopefully, this is what a podcast should be like. Like,
I think we should make it like stop stalling, and I think
end it. Two losers talking about invisibility. Yeah, okay. Thank you for tuning in.
Not losers.
I mean, two winners.
Two losers.
Two winners. Okay,
no.
Yeah. One winner and one loser.
We're just people. Okay, we're just people. Leave it at that.
Okay, we're people.
Like, I hate the concept of everybody's a winner, everybody's a loser. Like, okay, we will get to that on another topic.
That'll be the next topic. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe.
We'll figure it out. You'll be on the journey with us. But on that note, that's how we got here. And we should see.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Stop it, Sajid. Bye.
On the next episode.
Bye.